This week's Extra Life on F5 Live Refreshing Technology is proudly powered by EXA. EXA brings the latest technology to gamers, offering the most immersive products for the ultimate gaming experience. They've compiled the best elements of cutting-edge ENC tech, the latest in Bluetooth 5.0 and 7.1 surround, plus extra features into their headsets so everyone can enjoy a sensational gaming experience. And they've got headsets for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Plus, they won't break the bank. Learn more about the headsets that are available and any current promotions by going to f5live.tv/exa. If you've been a loyal listener or viewer for a long time, you might remember that there was a game that EA had out under their Playfish studio called SimCity Social. They unceremoniously shut that game down, and we talked about it on the show for a long time. Here we are, many years later, and I'm still referencing it. Why? Because online games have the ability to vanish in the blink of an eye. Sometimes it's because nobody's using it. We'll talk about one of those. Sometimes it's because the studio gets bored. We didn't exactly talk about that, but there was one of those this week. Not a shutdown, but an end of maintenance. And then sometimes it's just because studio shuffles or whatever. This week was a weird one because a lot of games, many of them new, were announced to be shutting down. Speaking of EA, EA's got two mobile titles going away. Apex Legends Mobile and Battlefield Mobile. It is just the mobile versions, not the desktop, not the console. The full versions of these games will remain, just the mobile ones are going away. It's because of a realignment at EA. We've heard that before. The games will disappear May 1st, 2023, when the servers are shut down, but both of them have been delisted as of right now, so you can't even install them if you wanted to. One game that's going away because nobody played it, and I know, hyperbole, I am known for it. Not this time. Konami's online murder mystery game Crime Site. If you've never heard of it, not surprised. On launch day, 571 people played the game. This is a Konami game. A reminder, this is a Konami game. They created the rhythm game category. They've had a lot of big successes. Less than 600 players on the largest day of the game. Today, as of about 2:30 this afternoon, the peak over the last 24 hours was 9 globally. 9 people playing. So,
could some of them have been admins?
It could be. Yeah, it could be staff. It could be people who are in there just to put anything into the stats. It's not good. And this one is being delisted on February 27th and will also be gone for good on May 1st. The end of February, end of sale, sometime in May, end of game is going to be a trend that you're going to see here. Knockout City, which came out last year. Say goodbye to that. Season 9, which starts on February 28th, will be its final. There will be extra XP, extra rewards, extra in-game currency awarded. The store will be shut down when Season 9 starts. You will not be able to make any real-world game purchases, but you will be able to use the in-game currency to make purchases. May 23rd will be the day that Season 9 ends, and so will the game. This one is a little more surprising because it is a popular game. We have people at Strike that come in and play Knockout City. It's installed on all of our PCs. In fact, this will be the first game that we uninstall at strike because the game goes away. So we have people come in and play it. It was on I think our top 5 list of games played in 2022. But it's a very small studio. And I feel a little bit like this is almost a Flappy Birds type situation where they've just overextended themselves and they don't have the ability to continue. I don't know that for sure, but it's kind of what they suggested in their announcement. Another game that's in a slightly different situation, but feels a little bit of a similar game is Rumbleverse. It's a 40-player King of the Hill type battle royale brawler game from Iron Galaxy. That game is getting very little heads up on its sunsetting the end of the month, February 28th, last day of the game. Goodbye. Obviously, all purchases have been shut down. They have opened the full online experience to everybody. They want at least people to enjoy it before it goes away. And then for games that aren't going away but are seeing end of support, Back for Blood, which seems like it's been out like an hour and a half. They're done supporting it. No new content. They got bored. And in their announcement, that's basically what they said. We're ready to move on to our next game. So we're bored with this one. So enjoy it. We're gonna go over here now. Bye. It's that one was a little less. We're so sorry to be doing this to the community. It's not what we wanted. Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, "Nah, we're bored. We're gonna go over here now. Bye bye." So I guess at least they were being honest. It's a lot of games, and if you think about it, let's see. Knockout City came out late last year, I think. Crime Site came out in April of last year, I think. Rumbleverse came out in August of last year. Like, 3 of these titles will have been out like 14 months or less when they shut down.
I mean, look. Now, I think this raises an interesting question, which is, as you mentioned in the article, like Atari 2600, like games used to never go away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, there's going to be no way. Is there going to be any way to play Crime Site, or it has to connect to the server to work?
So Crime Site is dead. Rumbleverse, from what we understand, is probably dead. The thing that I like is that I think it's Velan Studios, the developer of Knockout City. They are releasing the server. So you'll be able to create private servers to be able to continue playing the game. So the game as a whole is not going away, just the online matchmaking and all that stuff. You'll have to have your own server. You'll have to configure it. Somebody's going to have to do it. But if it's anything like some of the other games that have done this, somebody's going to run server farms and allow people to continue playing. That's my feeling, because Knockout City has been popular enough that I feel like somebody's going to set up some stuff. They're going to go into Azure. They're going to set up some servers, rent them out, so people can continue playing. That's my feeling. But yeah. Crime Site will be dead, and from what we understand, Rumbleverse is going to be dead. It'll depend on, they might release the server, but I don't think so. There hasn't been any talk of it yet.
I mean, think about if you're on Crime Site now, though. It's got to kind of be like, you ever go to the movies and you realize you're the only one in the movie theater?
Yes.
And you're like, I kind of feel guilty because all these people, the projectionists, whatever, they're just working because I'm here. Mm-hmm. If I wasn't here, they might be able to do something else. I don't know. So if you're on Crime Site, they're just working for you.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I'm just for curiosity's sake. There are 4 players right now,
and we don't know if they're admin. Now, this isn't a game where you play with other people.
Yeah.
So they could all be just one group of people playing together.
True. Yeah.
That's not even enough people to have Clue. Um,
Right. And if this is an online murder mystery game, it definitely feels
yeah,
like it's probably Digital Clue, give or take, right? So
yeah.
four people wouldn't be terribly fun if even if they were all in the same game. It's interesting. So I'm looking at the charts, and it's comparing players to Twitch streamers or Twitch viewers. For some reason, on September 29th, there is a big spike where way more people statistically were watching on Twitch than were playing. It's like
Maybe a one
so
streamer.
yeah, so October 13th, it's 13 players and 10 viewers. October 27th, 44 players and 14 viewers. But on September 29th, 13 players, 906 viewers. Something went really weird that day, and it's the only day like that. Even the week that the game was free, the chart barely does anything. It's really pretty depressing, to be honest. Anyway, so lots of stuff happening, and the time frames on these games are getting shorter, which is, I think, the thing that I'm most concerned about. Right? We've seen, and I good friend worked on one. We've seen games, go through years of development and then be out for 12 months. Oh, poor WildStar. In the past, but I don't know that I've ever seen this many short-term games get nixed all at once. Like, this is a bit of a bloodbath for theoretically AAA titles. It doesn't look great, but it also might indicate, because I mean we're looking at a battle royale, a free to play online dodgeball game. It's possible that what we're looking at here is a failure of the freemium model.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't like freemium. Freemium is bad. Freemium leads to people being fooled into in-app purchases and things like that. Sorry, sore. I I I think
Oh, you almost made me
in
spit
the
out my
end,
drink. Thanks for that.
like it when look when we I like the model where look, yeah, maybe you have to spend $60 on a game or $20 on a
Mm-hmm.
game or whatever, but you have the game, you play the game, like you don't keep getting by hit up by like panhandlers like every minute, like, oh, would you like some more balloons to pop? Would you like some more
Right.
ammo? Would you like this? Would you like
Panhandlers.
just
That's a great way of looking at it.
it's like yeah, I mean it's 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 very like it's a really annoying like when people or apps are just popping in your face like aggressively trying to get your money and
Yeah.
like
It's like
that's
the it's like the guys selling flowers and stickers in the airport. It's
more like squeegee. It's almost more like a squeegee person, I think. Or
that's
like
a pretty New York answer.
the worst that I thing like that I ever had happen, ever, ever. And like I know I handled this the wrong way. I know it. But I just don't know what the right way is. Like to handle that is I had was in San Francisco, which has a lot of panhandlers, by the
Mm.
way. Everybody probably knows that. Um, and I had gone to dinner with a friend, and we stepped out of the restaurant and we're walking, and so like, and some guy came and he like squirted something on my shoes, like
Oh,
without he just squirted something on my shoes. I was like, what? And then he proceeded to kneel down and wipe my shoes off without me like consenting to this.
right. or
And
even
then
interacting.
and then he looks at me and he's like, "Okay, shoe shine, $20 a shoe." And I was like, and he was kind of an a large man, and I did not want to get in an argument with a stranger, especially in front of my friend or whatever, and like cause a scene. So I was like, okay, I gave him money. What
Okay.
like I don't, but I don't know what you're supposed to like. What you really should do is be like, hell no, you dropped crap on my shoe.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask you to wipe it off. But I mean that's what a free to play game is like.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah, I'm generally not a huge fan of free to play games, although the game that I play the most right now is Fall Guys, so I guess I can't say that entirely. Um, but that's because it looks good on the front TVs at the
Yeah.
shop. Um, but yeah, I've never been a big fan. I'm not a big fan of online games as a whole. I much prefer to, play by myself, play my game, move on with my day, or at least, have maybe an experience where you're in control of the multiplayer thing, right? Like Left 4 Dead, we'd have a couple of friends play remotely, but we'd create our own game and whatever. But if we wanted to then just play locally, we could. The GoldenEye model, right? Uh, that's what I much prefer. I famously I threw something towards my television and abandoned a game, Dead Island, when a random person showed up in my what I thought was a private game and stole my Jeep. That was the end of the game for me. I had been so excited about that game. That happened. I just put the game away. That was it. I didn't even know that other random people would be in my game, let alone able to steal my stuff. I don't know. I don't like people that much. So, anyway, definitely a bit of a dark week for online gaming, but I do suspect that it's got something to do with the freemium model. I bet we're gonna see less of it over the next couple of years based on how some of these games are starting to go. Maybe, maybe not. But for me, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course, hit the notification bell because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.